How you doing today, guys? I'm hoping you're having a good holidays. And this is R&R movie review list of my top 10 worst movies of 2022. This is my personal list. You can put your personal list down in the comments if you want, or if you feel my list is off somehow. I definitely would appreciate the comments and critiques. But this is my personal list from the movies I saw this year that were absolutely horrendous to me. And I'll give some points about why I didn't like it and so on and so forth. Number 10, I have Mind Cage, which is a thriller, a new thriller that came out in the latter time of the year. Um, it's supposed to be like a copycat of Silence of the Lambs, but it's not even on near Silence of the Lambs good. It has Martin Lawrence in it, and it almost seems like he's just walking around drinking coffee and saying a couple lines here and there. It's not even he's not even alive to do the movie. It's almost like he contractually obligated to do it. He was having no fun at all. Um, I don't know. Maybe he should go talk to Will Smith and maybe slap him and then start doing another Bad Boys or something, because he really didn't uh, seem like he wanted to be there, and that's why it's my number 10 of a horrible movie. The next movie I have is Amsterdam. Okay, Amsterdam. First of all, Amsterdam is way too long, for my opinion. Way too long, and the subject matter, which is a drama and socialist stuff, it was too confusing for me personally. I couldn't sit. Well, I sat through it obviously, but I didn't want to sit through it. I put it to you like that. I didn't want to sit through it. Um, it was too much stuff going on, man. I don't understand why anybody liked this movie at all, because it was way too many things going on in my opinion. Um, Let me see. And uh, the fact that people saying it's like Taylor Swift was a good actress or not. She had one scene in the movie, and she said a couple lines and that was it. I don't see it. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan by any way, shape, or form, man. So maybe you have to be. But it said the movie was 2 hours and 14 minutes. It seemed like it was longer than that. But I didn't get it. I didn't see the relationship aspect of John David Washington's character with Margot Robbie character, and I didn't like it at all. My number 8 film is Jurassic Jurassic World, which is, for a film named Jurassic World, which means dinosaurs. It was dinosaurs in about in about 50% of the film, maybe less than that, man. This plot was horrible, man. It was this a plot about giant locusts, like it was what they call it, the plague or something like that. I was like, are they really about to make this dinosaur movie about this? I mean, we already got to the extent where dinosaurs that came back and they're existing with humans, but now you got this world domination plot with this plague and locusts, and oh man, it's the only redeeming part of that movie was Lawanda. Was Lawanda Page? Okay, let me see. Not Lawanda Page. DeWanda Wise. The only redeeming quality of that movie was DeWanda Wise. Her character, every time she was on screen, the movie got a little better. Then when she was off, it went back down. Her and Jeff Goldblum's character, they was the only two people who looked like they was kind of having fun, man. It was the plot. It was plot. So many plot holes. You thought you was driving down 8 Mile or something like that. So many plot holes. I don't know, man. This movie was craziness, in my opinion. Let's see. Next, number 7 movie we have is Scream. This Scream movie is supposed to be a reboot of a reboot, and they talk about it, and I got it, but I didn't like it. It was a lot of inconceivable things, in my opinion. It just didn't work. It worked on some things, but a lot of things it didn't work on. Like, okay, spoiler alert, Dewey's character dies and gets killed. But if it's 2 killers and one is a man and one is a female who's she's not a preteen, but she's a young adult. But she's like, it had to be 5'4". There's no way she can overpower this guy who's a retired cop, who's supposed to be a retired cop. And this is a grown man. And I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So I mean, that they could be, maybe the next one that comes out next year could be better, but I didn't really care for it at all. I didn't really care for it. I mean, and I think Scream was one of those movies. One redeeming quality is it has Jenna Ortega in it, which I think this is her year to be like a screen queen, which she really showed up in basically all the movies she did this year, and I liked her in that. But the fact that they threw in a couple of racially ambiguous characters, just so they can check off a couple of boxes, I didn't appreciate that either. And the way they brought back older characters who was supposed to be dead, but things like that. But like, I didn't care for it. I'm sorry. It's my number 7 worst movie. Number 6 was Black Adam, starring The Rock. Now, I put it to you like this: Black Adam, it took a lot of ideas from Black Panther, actually. The fact that the land that he comes from is being manipulated by higher powers. That sounds like a lot of like what the Europeans did to Africa, which is a good thing, but they took it. They took that concept, which I can understand, but it was a lot more different stuff going on that wasn't amusing at all. It was like, why did they do this? Why did they do that? It was very, very weird, man. I think if this movie had came out in, say, 2002, 2003, then it would be a smash hit, because it was almost, I would say, every 5 to 10 minutes it was a slow motion shot. I said, man, I thought we was past a lot of slow motion, like a lot of slow motions. So I I didn't get it. It was a lot of jumbled stuff. I think they tried to pack two movies into one, and they didn't succeed on some level. You know what? I would have liked to see the Justice League movie or whatever, the Justice League of America movie first, then see Black Adam. But I guess they didn't have time for that. So hopefully he said The Rock said it won't be a Black Adam 2. Hopefully he'll get a chance to do something else, be another character, because he is a decent actor, you know. But it just didn't do it for me. Let's see. My number 5 movie is Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is basically the bookend of, I wouldn't say a horrible trilogy, but the first Halloween was okay. Halloween Kills is trash. And this is even more trash. I thought they couldn't. When you got stuff piled on the Halloween Kills and you make it even worse, I was like, come on, y'all. They changed, not genres, but they changed the flow of the movie. They changed the flow of the movie, and then they didn't pay it off at all, in no way, shape, or form, man. Who would watch something like that? You doing Michael Myers a disservice, a big disservice watching this movie. Why would you? It doesn't make any kind of sense. Okay, and as far as Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't understand why didn't she ask or stipulate that she get killed in this movie to make sure everybody dies, everybody ends as it should be. Halloween ends at the final note, man. It just, the flow was not understandable, and it was plot holes in this also, big plot holes, and no, this was not it. This was not it. Okay, number 4. My number 4 movie was Morbius. It's Morbin time. It's Morbin time. Man, this was a good premise. This is a good premise. But unfortunately, what producers and directors like to do is bring a character who is a violent type character or a dark type character and try to make it PG-13. If this movie was like rated R, then I think it would have did gangbusters, because they could have did a lot more with it. But this movie was not a excuse me, not a jumbled mess, but Matt Smith character, he was going for broke. He was going for broke in it, man. The stuff he did was, woo, it was outlandish. And then to watch the movie and then try to add on those horrible end credit scenes, woo, that made me, I think I literally felt sick at that end credit scene. Like, are they really trying to say that? So, no, that's a horrible. No, that's a horrible movie. That was my number 4? Number 4. Nope. Okay, now we got the top 3. The number 3 movie is Top Gun Maverick. Okay. The first one came out in 1986, right? Okay. And everybody who watched it knows now that it's just a allegory for white homosexual men, because that's basically what they cater into through the whole movie. In the first movie, there was probably no characters of color of any importance that I remember. And in this movie, spoiler alert again, if it's his mission to train these students to do the mission, which it's a mission that against who we don't know. You know, I mean, it's an invisible enemy, an invisible entity, which is, I guess, fine to you guys because you liked it for whatever reason. But every character of color or minorities were pushed to the background for the lead white character. And they even had the characters of color and the minorities just there to be background filter and rooting this main character on. He wasn't there to train them. He was just there just to have them check off lists to say, oh, we have a black man, we have a woman, we have a Mexican type actor in this movie, so people can't say that we weren't diverse enough. But when it comes down to it, the majority of the country, or even most of the known world, the Europeans, you know, they wanted that white man to get in that pilot seat and for him to do it, even if the stunts were good. You know, I get it, but I don't get it. That's why I didn't understand it. I mean, I wish people would look at movies for what they are and where they come from and what the optics is on these movies, and they would really know what's really going on and what's Hollywood and the system that is really trying to make you look at and make you think about, you know, because none of the characters, none of the minority characters were of any importance when it came down to the final, maybe the final 10, 20 minutes of the movie, maybe. They were afterthoughts. And like I said, this was a homoerotic, the first one was a homoerotic movie, and the second one was kind of still a homoerotic movie with that added element. So I'm not down with that. I really hope people think about this after they see this video and rewatch it or rethink about it and tell me what they think. Please tell me what they think. Okay, the number 2 movie is Avatar. This is one of those movies again where you have a director who basically, if you look at James Cameron's movies that he directed, think about how he treats characters of color or even minority type characters. It's almost like he's making them second-class citizens. And this story is as old as time anyway. You have the people from Earth, the sky people, which are basically Europeans or white Caucasians, coming down to a planet inhabited by savages, right? These are savages. They have different skin color like Africans would have. And if you look at their hair, their dress, the dress they wear, the kind of dress they wear, and their hairstyles, it almost seems like this is the Europeans raping the continent of Africa of its resources. And this story is all the time. And you know, I don't find that enjoyable. And the fact that it's in 3D, which we know that if you pay more for 3D, of course your movie gonna make more in the long run because people are paying more to see it in 3D. But if it's not worth everybody's time in 3D, they won't pay. So that's why it's making money. That's it to me. If you think about it, it's a story that's as old as time. European sky people come down to a land with people with with braids, with dreadlocks, and small afros. What does that sound like to you? What are they trying to convey to you? You know? So no for Avatar. Think about it. Please think about it. Please think about it. And my number one worst movie of this year, maybe of all time, man. Maybe of all time. I've never seen any egregiousness as this is The Woman King. Okay, let's take it from the ground level and work ourselves up. First of all, and if it's a monarchy, of any monarchy, there's no such thing as a woman king. So they got that wrong. Okay? And then the producers and, well, not the director exactly, but the producers and the people who created the film are two white women, one of which is Marie Bello. And she took the name of a real tribe and a real kingdom in Africa that were not only compliant in slave trading, but they were one of the most savage slave traders in recorded history. And it was saying they changed their story, which is blatant lies, blatant lies. It's an affront to ADOS people who are living here as an abomination of people who are descended from people who basically was killed by this tribe and kidnapped and sold into slavery. So most of us are here because of the Dahomey tribe, and you want us to go out and celebrate a movie that talks about them and tries to make like they didn't want to be slave traders anymore, when they obviously, if you read any history books, not even history, and people talking about you don't go to the movies for history or to teach get a lesson taught to you, but you go to entertain about a real tribe. And I'm trying to get in touch with Marie Bello to ask her why she chose this real kingdom and real tribe to tell a story when she could have easily made up another name and another tribe for these people. The Viola Davis character didn't exist in history, so she's factual. The Nawi, the young recruit character, she was a real character, but her actions in the movie is not something that the real character has did or would do because of the circumstances she was in. So I feel this is a slap to the face of ADOS people and people who live in this country because of slavery, and I think it should be abolished. I think Marie Bello should apologize. Well, first she should apologize to ADOS, but because we as ADOS, or even black people in general, don't run Hollywood or the system, we will never get a fair shake. We will have to watch and put up with these types of things until we're in control of it. So this is probably one of the worst movies to ever come out, and I'm still trying to figure out why people. I understand why foreigners like it. They probably love it. It's girl power and all that type of stuff like that. But I don't understand why people born here through generations of chattel slavery would ever support anything like this. And that's my number one movie. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please, I appreciate the comments or critique. Your list can be in the movie, or if you want to add to it, subtract from it, please tell me why and why not. And you guys, you have a good day.